Napoleon Hill's secret to inner power that nothing can shake. Napoleon Hill made a statement that disturbs but frees. If you are easily shaken, it's not the world that's against you. It's that you haven't yet strengthened yourself from within. And if that sentence bothered you, maybe it struck exactly where it needed to. The truth is that most people live emotionally exposed. A sharp look, bad news, or a small inconvenience, and their balance is gone. But Hill saw what few have the courage to admit. You cannot control the winds of life, but you can become someone no wind can knock down. And here's the secret he revealed, but few apply. It's not about looking unshakable. It's about actually becoming unshakable. There is a method, a set of mental and emotional practices that turn an ordinary person into someone who behaves as if nothing can disturb their peace. And the most curious part? And here's the secret he revealed, but few apply. It's not about looking unshakable. It's about actually becoming unshakable. There is a method, a set of mental and emotional practices that turn an ordinary person into someone who behaves as if nothing can disturb their peace. And the most curious part? Unshakable inner bearings. Imagine for a moment that the world around you is unraveling. Discouraging news, unexpected problems, difficult people. Yet still, you remain calm, steady, unshaken. That's no accident, and it's not luck. It's the result of an inner force that's been built over time. Napoleon Hill called it a center of inner gravity, a quiet conviction that keeps your soul anchored while everything around you wobbles. True stability is not built from the outside in, but from the inside out. And it begins with what you believe about yourself. If someone sees themselves as weak, unstable, and at the mercy of life's storms, the world will confirm that view. But when that person reaffirms their strength, their value, and their inner consistency each day, life begins to reshape itself around that inner image. Hill recommended the practice of autosuggestion. Repeat with firmness phrases like, "Nothing shakes my purpose," or "I remain calm in the face of challenges." These words, spoken with conviction, are like seeds planted in the subconscious. Over time, they grow into attitudes, decisions, and postures that reflect that new internal identity. Napoleon Hill taught that every emotionally charged thought shapes our personality. So instead of saying, "I can't take this," teach your mind to say, "This strengthens my character." Replace complaints with declarations of power. Write these affirmations and place them where you'll see them daily, on your desk, your nightstand, your fridge. This is the first step of self-discipline. A small act that seems simple, yet begins a profound transformation. And this is only the beginning of a larger process, which you'll understand more clearly in the next step. Emotional mastery. A person who wishes to achieve true greatness must master their emotions, not be mastered by them. Napoleon Hill taught that emotional failure is often the result of our inability to clearly observe what we feel. When something hurts, the natural tendency is to react. But the wise individual learns to step back. They don't deny the emotion, they observe it. And in that observation, they transform what could have been an explosion into an opportunity for inner strength. That moment of distance is the difference between chaos and clarity. When you feel provoked, irritated, insecure, or anxious, ask yourself sincerely, "Is this within my control?" If the answer is yes, then act with balance. If it's no, then free yourself from the slavery of trying to change what cannot be changed. Hill was clear: emotionally misdirected energy is wasted life. But when you channel that force toward what is within your reach, your attitude, your focus, your choices, the power shifts back into your hands. And it is in your hands that your transformation begins. Let's take a simple example. Someone yells at you in traffic. That's out of your control, but your response, that's fully yours. Instead of reacting, breathe, smile slightly, and keep moving forward. That quiet decision is a massive victory. It is the practice of what Hill called emotional maturity. And with each repetition of that habit, the mind is retrained. Each trigger overcome brings you one step closer to mastery. And when that mastery meets daily visualization, an even deeper level of control begins to unfold. Mental rehearsal and visualization. Before any external victory happens, it must exist first in the invisible world of the mind. Napoleon Hill was emphatic. Visualize clearly what you want to experience. If you want to remain calm in chaos, then every day, imagine yourself handling difficulties with calm and authority. Picture a tense meeting. See yourself listening attentively, speaking firmly, maintaining eye contact. The mind can hardly distinguish between what's imagined and what's real. That's why mental rehearsal is one of the most powerful forms of preparation. Top athletes don't train only with their bodies. They train with their eyes closed. They visualize the perfect move, the flawless execution, the victory. You can do the same with your emotions. Hill advised that this visualization be daily, preferably early in the morning. Set aside 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Imagine your day's challenges and yourself, composed and in control. This isn't fantasy. It's discipline applied to the imagination, and it works like muscle memory for the mind. In time, this kind of visualization becomes an invisible ally. When a real crisis occurs, your mind already knows the path. It's rehearsed that calm response before. You remember what you imagined, and like a well-prepared actor, you step into the role with confidence. This quiet practice builds a powerful foundation. And the more you repeat it, the more natural it becomes. And when this repetition combines with anchored habits in daily life, the transformation becomes even more powerful. Anchored habits build resilience. An unshakable mind isn't built through grand gestures. It's shaped through daily, consistent habits. Napoleon Hill always emphasized the power of routine. Waking up early, reading quality material, keeping your word to yourself. These are silent pillars of self-confidence. These simple decisions, repeated over time, shape character. A man or woman who rules their routine will eventually rule their destiny. A disciplined morning isn't just a ritual. It's a declaration. The day doesn't control me, I control the day. And you don't have to start big. Hill would say, start small, but start with firmness. Wake up 30 minutes earlier to reflect, write, visualize, or pray. That alone changes your internal structure. A short morning walk or reading 5 pages of a great book like Think and Grow Rich or The Richest Man in Babylon are mental strength exercises. What matters is not the intensity at first, but the continuity of the habit. Small victories, repeated, form massive inner fortresses. You want to become resilient? Then practice resilient habits. That means keeping your word to yourself, even when the enthusiasm is gone. It means following through on what you said you would do. When these small promises are honored, the brain registers, I am trustworthy. And this reflects in your posture, your decisions, and your confidence. Hill didn't just talk about dreams, he taught the steps to reach them. And the next step is practical and powerful. 3 habits that carve the nothing can shake me mindset. 3 practices to build the mindset. Napoleon Hill believed that every great result begins with simple practices repeated with intention. If you want to build an unshakable mindset, just 3 daily actions are enough to begin the transformation. Autosuggestion, visualization, and emotional pause. The first is a mental exercise. Write 5 powerful affirmations every night. Something like, I remain calm under pressure. My mind stays focused in any storm. Write them. Speak them out loud. Let these words take root in your subconscious. The second is strategic visualization. In the morning, before touching your phone, close your eyes for 2 minutes. See yourself navigating the day's challenges with poise and calm. Imagine tough conversations, unexpected changes, pressure, and in every scene, you respond with clarity. This prepares your nervous system. Your mind receives the signal, I'm ready. When tension actually strikes, you've already mentally walked through it. It's a kind of spiritual rehearsal. Over time, the effects are transformative. Lastly, the emotional pause. When you feel the heat of anger, the wave of anxiety, or the shadow of worry, count to 10 before responding. Just 10 seconds. That's enough to shift from reaction to reflection. Hill taught that true strength is not in reacting quickly, but in responding wisely. That brief moment is like an invisible shield. And over time, that pause becomes a habit. When combined with alignment practices, it prevents you from faking strength and leads to real inner fortitude. Avoid the mask trap. There's a silent mistake many make while trying to appear strong. They wear a mask. They pretend to be calm, suppress frustration, and force a fake serenity. But Napoleon Hill was clear. True strength isn't a performance, it's inner alignment. To appear calm while turmoil brews inside is to live in constant contradiction. And worse, maintaining appearances drains more energy than dealing with the root cause. The goal isn't to seem unshakable, it's to feel grounded when no one's watching. Repressing emotions without understanding them is like pushing smoke into a sealed room. Eventually, the space becomes toxic. Hill taught that we must not deny our feelings, but learn from them. Ask yourself, why is this bothering me? What is this emotion trying to reveal? When you welcome your emotion with maturity and respond with awareness, you turn invisible weight into wisdom. This isn't weakness, it's self-knowledge. And only those who truly know themselves can become genuinely strong. One powerful complementary habit is to track your emotions. Not as a dramatic outpouring, but like a scientist studying the soul. Grab a notebook and write, "Today I felt anger because ... or I became anxious when ... When you write it out, you release the pressure. And over time, you start to see patterns, recurring triggers, hidden roots. Hill would call this applied emotional intelligence. And this ongoing observation prepares you for the deeper, lasting benefits. Long-term benefits. The rewards of this inner work are not instant, but they are lasting. Napoleon Hill often said, "Success is not something you chase, but something you attract by the person you become." And when you commit to cultivating a calm, disciplined, and authentic mind, the results come naturally. You begin to make decisions with clarity and speed. Mistakes reduce because your choices come from balance, not emotion. Most importantly, your confidence no longer depends on outside approval. People around you begin to notice something different. They can't quite explain it, but they feel they can rely on you. Your presence radiates stability. Your words carry weight. Your mind calm and focused. All this doesn't come from titles or fame. It comes from daily practices, autosuggestion, visualization, emotional pause, anchored habits, inner alignment. This is the true Napoleon Hill Success Mindset, built brick by brick, like a mental cathedral. And though this construction may be silent, it changes everything. Your relationships improve. Your health strengthens. Your vision for the future expands. You stop being distracted and start living with intention. And this, Hill insisted, is not a miracle. T's method, it's daily application, quiet but powerful. And if you want to start this path strong, Hill already showed the way. A daily ritual that strengthens your mind before the world can shake it. And that's what you'll begin right now. Let's look back today. You learned 7 practices that can transform not just your emotional state, but how you face life itself. Strengthen your mind with daily affirmations. Master your triggers through emotional intelligence. Visualize yourself calm before the storm hits. Build habits that support resilience. Practice autosuggestion, visualization, and pause. Remove the mask of fake strength. Observe the rewards of your unshakable mindset. These aren't pretty ideas to reflect on for a few minutes. They are practices to be lived. And now the question is, will you just listen, or will you start applying? Because between knowing and transforming lies a bridge called action. And if you're ready to cross it, Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and join me on this journey. Every week, you'll learn how to build the mind of a true master of self, just as Napoleon Hill taught. And remember, an unshakable mind is not born. It is built brick by brick, every single day.